We've made the move. Starting off season 2, it will not be Tommy DeVito, it will be Brock Purdy, as we give the Lions division rival 4 first-round picks and a current 4th-round pick. But we make them worse for this season, and hopefully we can go one and done and we don't have to worry about any of these selections. And since it's been over a week since we were last here in the Midwest States Only Challenge, let's go through a quick recap of what happened in our offseason. Quite obviously, we traded for Brock Purdy, and while we gave up quite a lot, we still maintained a decent amount of picks for the future if we need it. We did also bring in Jimmy Garoppolo. Where that leaves Tommy DeVito, well, we will find out. Backup of the future, Garoppolo is a mentor and can provide that help to both DeVito and potentially Brock Purdy. At the running back spot, Jonathan Taylor, he missed a lot of time last year. Not quite sure why. Hopefully we see him on the field more regularly. We did draft Alex Church, and he looks to be a phenomenal running back to pair with Taylor. As for the receiver spot, last year we did trade for Rashad Bateman. With a new quarterback, hopefully we see this whole group take off. We did draft 2 receivers in Juan Morris and Kyle Traynor. Tight end, a little bit different. Outside of Hawkinson, Dan Arnold will be the primary backup, with Shane Zylstra taking in that tight end 3 role. We did see one of our offensive linemen retire. Then we drafted Desmond Fulton, early 2nd round if I'm not mistaken. He's starting immediately and is teaming up with a really strong offensive line with only one area of maybe concern at right tackle. Trevor Penning was brought in with our trade last year. I want to say it was with Denver in the Russell Wilson trade. We also have AJ Jackson. We're going to start Jackson. He started a little bit last year, had his struggles, but Penning, he just does not quite have as much of the pass blocking as we're looking for. He does have good run blocking, so he's going to be the primary backup for the offensive line. Defensive line didn't see much change, but we do have a couple new players. Dwayne Smoot, he was brought in free agency. Shelby Harris shifts to left end because we drafted 1st-round pick LaMichael Jacobs out of Iowa State. He and Keanu Benton are very similar in size and skill talent as well, so they should be a really solid pair. They bring a little bit of some power moves with some block shedding, some strength, and overall should anchor the interior of the defensive line. We did also draft another edge guy here in Kenny Andrews. Whether he sees much playing time, we'll find out, but he's definitely a depth rotation kind of guy. Same could also be said for Austin Dowling at the outside linebacker spot. We did trade away one of our middle linebackers in Joe Schobert to the Falcons to bring in a 3rd-round pick to help us recoup from trading away so many firsts, but we still have a really strong group here. At corner, no real change that we're going to see. We did draft Rudy Turner. He's going to be depth for now. Now with no changes at safety or kicker, moves us to punter, where we have a rookie out of Southern Illinois in Dwight Jenkins taking over, and hopefully he doesn't see the field too much. Well, with that being said, we are ready to start season 2. I imagine we get through these first 2 weeks rather quickly, as we have our biggest rival week 3 in the Packers. So let's jump on in, let's host the Buccaneers, travel to Jacksonville, and then we're going to focus in on that Packers game. Now we're going to get this one going at the start of the 2nd half. It's 14-7, so no real big things happened in that first half. They start with a run and they pick up 7. Jaylen Warren on 11 carries, about 50 yards. They go back to him here on the toss. He's got a lead blocker, gonna destroy the corner. We'll get the tackle from Sidney Brown, but that's a 1st down into plus territory. Outside of the new DT, really nothing new here for the defense. We'll probably focus a little bit more on the offense today. Though starting, we could use a stop, and I just realized I said plus side territory a couple plays ago. Not the case. 3rd and 5 still on their own side. As they go with a RPO, they swing it out. That's going to definitely be into plus territory. Brown finally catches up to him, dragging him down at the 21. That is Ronnie Bell, who takes it all the way, almost to the red zone. A heavy set to follow with 3 tight ends at the top. They'll go to stretch it, and a great stop coming in. TJ Edwards was one of the leaders on our defense last year. Look for more of that this year. We bring the blitz, as it will get back there. Mafe knocking him down, making a big loss back at the 34. We got a lot of speed on the edge here, too much there for Kyler. 3rd and 23, double A gap look for us. Hard count, we drop back into coverage. Across the middle, finding a wide open target. Picked up, slammed down, but a little bit too late. Moore gets the Buccaneers all the way down to the 7. That goes down to the young safeties. As Kyler, he's already scrambling around, and a sack down the middle is the rookie. It is first career game of Michael Jacobs picking up that sack. An injury for the Buccaneers offensive line. They hand it off on 2nd. They'll pick up a couple, leaving 3rd and goal at the 10. As Murray throws up top, he misses the mark. It will be a field goal attempt here for the Bucs. But obviously prefer not to give up anything here, already down a touchdown. Field goal will put the Bucs up by 10. As it is back, kick is up, and it's right down the middle. But it's time to see what Brock Purdy can do. We are back to using New England's playbook for the offense. Bounced around a couple different playbooks last year. Jonathan Taylor picking up 3. 11 carries for him, 57 yards. Good to see him actually out there. That was the problem last year. First throw here for Brock is a dump off. Getting by the first defender, not by the second. Leaves a 3rd and 3. Not a great start, though, for Purdy, who's just 11 of 20 throwing. We could use him here on 3rd with a 3rd and 3. Bunched down to the bottom. We hand it off down the middle. Pushing forward, coming up just shy is Taylor. Mosley credited with the tackle, but the offense stays on out. 4th and inches. It's a handoff to the fullback in Ingold, and he will power forward, picking up 4. A little gutsy call early on here for Joe Thomas, but he trusted in his offense. Works out well for us. 1st and 10. They bring 5. It's Hawkinson across the middle with a catch, gain of 6. Just so happens to also be his 6th catch of the game, 62 yards. Looking for him and Rashad Bateman to kind of lead this receiving group. As they don't bring anyone extra, Purdy rolls, throwing down to the bottom, finding a first down, Quintez Cephas. For a good while last year, he actually was one of the guys who was leading us. Lazard ended up being the top receiver for us, not necessarily what we were looking for, as we find him here, picking up the first down on a first down. And after we made the decision to trade away Thielen, bring in Rashad Bateman, we're kind of hoping that Bateman would be our leading receiver. See if he has a breakout year this year. As Taylor takes the handoff, it's a short gain. Running towards the outside, probably not our best options. Best run blockers down the middle. As we will not get the snap off here. We will send it to the 4th quarter, where we are currently down by 10, 17-7. The stats for both these teams looking very similar. We just need to make sure that this score gets rather similar quickly here. Brock Purdy with a clean pocket, delivers across the middle and finding Lazard, who will squeeze out the first. I don't really think this offense is going to be predicated on making any big plays. Just the simple, methodical drives is how I kind of see us moving. 1st and 10, we go with the stretch. Good blocking from the tight ends. Need Jonathan Taylor to make a man miss. But so far, holding at a decent average per rush, and the fact that he's out there is kind of a good step for us. We go back to him 2nd and 6. They get 3rd and 1 with a gain of 5. He'll need an additional 30 yards in this 4th quarter to find 100 on the day. Though 3rd and 1, we go shotgun. Hard count from Purdy, no one jumps. Looking to pass the ball, finds a dump off and finds Hawkinson. Barely ends up making that catch in time. 7 catches, 70 yards for him, and all the tight ends join him. As it's going to be a play action roll and finding Dan Arnold. Malcolm Roach for the Bucs injured on the play, but we draw this thing back to a field goal, at least with this PAT being made here. Jimmy G to hold it. Kick is up, and it will be a 3-point difference as we continue on here in the 4th quarter. Can the defense get the stop we need? Jumping in here a few plays later, looked like we're about to get a 3 and out. Then Jerry Jeudy pops off for 27. They find him here for just a gain of 8. Before their offense finding their way into field goal range as they're now inside the 40. Tight shotgun set here. Murray throws, finding his target, not able to jar that one free is Mitchell. So far this drive has been entirely Jerry Jeudy. The only time that they've moved the ball being the case. 1st and 10 now inside the 35. We only rush 4. They get a quick pass, applying some hits but not jarring it free. Perhaps just need to tighten up that coverage a little bit more. 2nd and 6. Come out with one receiver either side. 2 tight ends towards the top, though they hand it off weak side. Stop from Edwards, but he might have gotten a little too much of a grab of that face mask. So what should have been a 3rd down, instead a 1st and 10 down to the 13. Got to hold him for a field goal attempt here. A turnover even better. That's a much better stop from Edwards. Didn't need to grab the face mask. Instead blocked the blocker and got the tackle, bringing up 2nd and 10. As they are running clock here, we're approaching 2.5 minutes. Murray with an empty set across the middle, finding yet another touchdown. Shaq Gates putting him back up by 10. And with just 2:37 left on the clock, we will jump out here with the offense. Try to get us back into this game as quickly as we possibly can. Stepping up in the pocket, Purdy looks to scramble, takes some awkward contact, but does get us to the 40. Hurry up. As again, not much time left in this one. Bateman spread all the way to the right-hand side. They cover him pretty well, but we've got T-Hawk to the sideline, blocked by Lazard. Can't really call offensive pass interference on your own team. So 2nd and 10 then. As we stick with a spread look here, looking for the halfback screen. Get Thomas out in some space. Juke him back inside. Could have gotten out of bounds to stop the clock. Instead, we'll let the 2-minute warning do that for us. Sitting at midfield. Looks like Purdy's going to make a change here. Sends Taylor to the right side as well as T-Hawk. Cephas goes to the left. Trying to get a good matchup here with Bateman. 1v1, and it's through his hands. Banks there didn't really play the ball initially. Instead, he played the receiver, working out well for him. 2nd and 10 then. As it's thrown to the sideline, it gets picked. Purdy tried to put it up for his receiver. Not enough height, and that will do it. Edmonds ends this one with a pick 6, and in week 1, it was not the showing this offense was looking for. Still rather flat, only 14 points. We had an opportunity to get ourselves back in this game. Defense couldn't pick up a stop. We got to do better as we move forward. And where we jump in next is in Jacksonville, where we're in the 4th quarter. And we're up 17-10, trying to hold on to that lead as it's an immediate scramble here. Gonna pick up 4 goes Jared Goff. TJ Edwards able to meet him, limiting that gain. They keep it with an empty set for 2nd as they go 3 up top, 2 down below. Goff immediately trying to scramble again. Gets by the DT, though not gonna pick up the 1st down. Will bring up a 3rd and 3. Epinesa got the tackle. This time he sits in the pocket. He finds his receiver. Mitchell gets there a split second too late. It's again hearkening back to that first game where we just got to tune things up a little bit. 1st and 10 now inside the 45. It's a bunch up top, though they go with a draw down towards the bottom. Good blocking springs him as he will get down inside the 30. Achane with a nice burst there. Tony Adams brings him down as well with some help. 1st and 10 is a play action pass here for Goff. Getting a little bit of some pass rush, and Maffa delivers a hit, but it's delivered a pass. Catchable gain of 2 as Achane finds it. I don't know how we didn't get anything there good for us. 2nd and 8. Goff dropping back again here. He's got plenty of time to load up and finds his target in double coverage. Neither Brown or the other cover man was able to get a hand on it. And Njoku levels this game. We take over on offense now 17-17 back at our own 20. Handing it off and getting blown up. Jordan Davis makes the play, though gets up a little gingerly. I guess good news for us is we won't have to worry about him on the next play. 2nd and 12. Need to find a big gain here as it's an RPO swinging out to Bateman. Finally see him do something, and it's just regaining those lost 2. Only 4 catches for him on the game as well. Need more from our top receiver. It's an empty set here, 3rd and 10. Trips up top. As Purdy's got time, he lofts it, finding a wide open Bateman. That's what we need, into plus territory. We could get him going, pair him with T-Hawk in a strong rushing game. This offense could be one of the best in the league. We just haven't quite seen it yet. Bad decision making there from Taylor. He should have just taken that right down the middle. Should have been a gain instead. Rowe gets the TFL lots of one. So on second, now sitting at midfield, Brock Purdy looking to throw, and he gets picked off at the 40. I think that was intended for Jonathan Taylor, though came up about 10 to 15 yards short. It also potentially could have been an overthrow for Cephas. It was kind of in the middle of the two, but Jacksonville takes over, all momentum on their side, plus they are at home. Achane takes the handoff. Good stop coming down from the safety spot. Adams limits it to just a gain of 2. So at the 43, they go 2 up top. Tight ends on both sides, hand it back off. Achane busting through the middle. Linebackers nowhere in sight. Sidney Brown gets the stop. Now you will see a 37 playing linebacker. In that last game, we had one of our backup linebackers and Jack Gibbons get pretty shaken up. In fact, he was placed on IR and he may not return this year. So what was once our strongest position, had the most depth, now one of our least depth spots. That doesn't really work out, but you know what I mean. 3rd and 8, Goff going downfield, lofts it, and Jacksonville is down to the 7. A slow start across the board here for our Midwest States Only Challenge. As it's 1st and goal, they look for the halfback screen. They find Achane, and we do a pretty good job in pursuit. About a gain of 1. 2-minute warning hits here. They're trying to take a late game lead. Trips up top, one down below is Njoku. They hand it off Achane, who finds a gap. Sidney Brown with a key tackle. We'll bring up a 3rd and goal at the 3. Goff drops under center. 2 receivers up top, one down below, plus Njoku. Achane, the single back, as they are letting time run here. They fake the jet sweep. Achane is stuffed by Edwards. It will be a field goal. Lutz to take this one at the 12. A 22-yarder for the go-ahead score. And it's perfect. Definitely not the start we were looking for here. We let a touchdown lead in the 4th slip away. Now we are the ones chasing. As Bateman comes across, Purdy. Decent throw. Great play there from Metellus. Seems like this offense still trying to sort itself out. It's a spread empty look here. 4 to the right-hand side. It's Bateman 1v1 to the left. Purdy making a change. Potentially for Bateman. Looking to get a step, which he has. And it's a catch. Staying on his feet. Stumbling still, but finding his way into the end zone. Rashad Bateman takes the top off the defense, putting us up by 4 inside a minute left. But with 3 timeouts, can Jacksonville pull off anything more here? They already came back from down 7, putting themselves up by 3. Now back down by 4. Njoku picks up the 1st down, getting them to the 35. Field goal does them no good. They need a touchdown. Expect them to pass here on out with 2 spread either side. 46 seconds and counting. Goff, pretty clean pocket, looks for the dump off and a quick tackle coming down from the safety. I want to say that is Moss, if I'm not mistaken. 2nd and 8. As Goff has time. Going up top, lofted to the sideline. Obviously 4 down territory. They got 2 more to find at least 8 yards. 37 seconds. They got 2 timeouts remaining. Goff once again in the pocket. Pass rush coming, and once again seeing that rookie DT get back there. Jacobs showing that versatility. I believe we also had AJ Epinesa coming off the bottom. 4th and potential game here. Goff, he's got time, throws, and it is caught. Great play from their target. Not sure if that was Njoku. Couldn't see who it was. Coverman blocked him up. But with that 1st and 10 at midfield, Goff across the middle, getting the catch down around the 25. They called their final timeout, 20 seconds left. Trips up top, Njoku at the bottom. Goff dropping back, clean pocket here as he throws it to the flat and overthrows Achane. Honestly, might have been a safer call to overthrow that. 15 seconds left here. They're at the 25. Empty set for Goff. He's got time. Clean pocket yet again, lofting it, and once again to the sideline. Trying to encourage his guy to run a smarter route, I assume there. 3rd and 10, 9 seconds, about enough time for 2 shots towards the end zone. Goff drifting back, throwing out of the back. We've got time for 1 final play. 24-20 in Jacksonville. Can we pull off technically the comeback after we gave it up? It all comes down to this. Empty set, trips up top, 2 down below. Goff in the pocket, throwing and tipped away by Benjamin St. Juste. Will pick up the win on the road. We start 1-1 as we head into our first big rivalry matchup on the season. And as we get into our biggest rivalry game so far this year, we start on defense. Packers in possession, hand it off, and immediately find some space down the middle. Swift dragging forward, picking up about 9.5, though a little bit shaken up on the play. In the couple games we've already played against the Packers in Season 1, he was a pretty good factor for them. We'll see if they're able to find that with their other running back. 27 checks in, Javonte Williams picking up 5. If I'm not mistaken, the same pair from the Lions, which is actually funny here because we're still in the NFC North as it's going right back to him. 3 straight runs, picking up 3 here. Our quarterback, Justin Herbert, always plays a little bit interesting. We'll see how well our defense combats this team. Now, typically, they pass often and heavily. They do it there, picking up the first down. The game report says 66% passing. That's what we planned for. Those they go right back to the run. Good stop coming in from the edge. Ojemudia, Mudiai? One of those two, maybe. Coming in from the corner spot, gets the stop. Some play action pass. Once again, we get some pressure there from Jones. Forces the bad pass. Bringing up the first 3rd down here. Sitting at the 50-yard line. Would like a stop. Not yet in field goal range. Just 2 up top, 1 down below. Herbert dropping back. Pass across the middle to an open target. Down around the 30. And only 2 passes finding their way to Phelps. Has them in a first down with a similar formation. Herbert taking the snap in the pocket. Going down towards the bottom once again, finding a crossing route, this time not Phelps, but one of the main guys from our previous state only in Okonkwo. Down inside the 15, or at the 15, as they continue passing here. Back across the middle with a quick stop from Edwards. Our offense has the ability to stretch the field, but they've kept most things short. Look to see if they go back to the run here. Swift is back out there. They go back to Okonkwo. He picks up another first down. They get 1st and goal. Kind of playing the hair version here of just the short and steady, easily marching down the field. Swift takes the toss. As they have the edge, he cuts back towards the middle. Actually, check that, not Swift, it was Williams. Chenal gets the tackle, but they're down at about the half-yard line. With a shotgun look here, they do hand it off, and Swift, this time for sure, back out there as he gets the touchdown to end their first drive. Packers take a 7-0 lead. Now we will be jumping into at least the first drive for both sides. Our offense out there with a spread empty look. Purdy going up to Arnold, who gets the catch, gain of 6. Now, one thing to note, we are without Linderbaum in this one, so we've shifted around our offensive line a little bit. The defensive line for the Packers also missing 2 players, so hopefully that balances themselves out. Good play here from Bateman. Getting the catch, turning it up to the 39. Giving that first down with a bunch up top. Bateman down to the bottom. Nice to see him getting a little bit more involved as we fake the jet sweep. Jonathan Taylor with a little juke and a gain of about 7 to 8. Still waiting for him to have his real breakout game. He has not had one yet. Last week, just about 50 yards. Takes this one 2nd and 2, finds the lane and picks up the first. Zach Harrison, another defensive lineman injured here for the Packers. Will we attack that? We'll find out. With the 1st and 10, we spread to either side, including Hawkinson. And the slant off the mark. Looked like Purdy was trying to find Lazard. Just a little bit low, but a little too high for the underneath slant. 2nd and 10. Going back down the middle, Taylor with some space and a gain of 7. So far, the running working out a little bit better. Roquan Smith, the only real star for the Packers defense in that front 7. 3rd and 3, we stick with the pass, and it is swatted down, intended for Quintez Cephas. And a sight no Vikings fan wants to see, it's Ivan Pace Jr. who did get that breakup. 4th and 3, the offense stays on out. Too far away for a field goal, too close for a punt. They do bring a blitz. rolling, trying to find an open receiver. We find Cephas this time with enough space to get the first. Not much space, but enough to get the job done. As we have a 2nd and 10 here, we got 2 down to the bottom, 1 up top. Cephas in motion. Gonna make that a receiver stack. Purdy looking to throw across the middle. He finds Bateman. Gonna push and get down to around the 20. Stopped just outside as time is running out here in the first. Do we get the snap off before the end? We will. They bring a blitz. We look up top and there is a touchdown for Alan Lazard. We tie the game up, both teams polishing off their first drive with a touchdown. With the defense getting a quick 3 and out thereafter, we're jumping into the next drive as we have a 4th and 1 in our own territory here. Risky to go for it. Blocking looks good. Taylor's going to pick up the first down and get us into plus territory. So we'll move forward from there. Jumping back to the broadcast, we're at the 47. We got 3 options down below. Hawkinson towards the top. Brock Purdy with a clean pocket, lets it rip. There goes Allen as he is back again. 2 touchdowns go Alan Lazard in the first half of a rivalry matchup, and he gives us the lead we were looking for. But the Packers trying to answer on their following drive. Into plus territory at the 45. They got a bunch up top, 1 down below is more. Herbert, clean pocket. He finds the drag yet again, keeping the play short and concise. Outside of just the 3 bad plays their last drive, really all of them have been pretty solid. Herbert sends 3 up top, 1 down below for 2nd and 2, sticking with the passing game and off the side of the face of Swift. Gotta love when you can get a pass breakup without ever having to do anything. 3rd and 2, a chance to see what these DTs can do, or instead they pass. Jarred free by Hobbs. Gonna bring up a 4th and 2, in which the Packers keep their offense out there. Now will we see some DT push? Handoff down the middle, Swift will get it done. They needed 2, he got about 3.5. Giving him a first down inside the 35. Herbert hands it back off, getting by the first level, nearly getting by the next. St. Juste with a potential touchdown saving tackle. Leaves them 2nd and 2 as they go 2 down to the bottom. Hand it back off to Swift, met in the gap but slipping the tackle, Mitchell. He shows great awareness, play recognition, but the tackling, not his strong suit. 1st and 10 inside the red zone as Herbert looks to pass from under center. Down to the flat, finding his target and picking up yet another first. This time down inside the 10 at the 7. With 2 tight ends at the top, 1 receiver either side. They hand it back off to Swift, who slips 1. Not going to get by the next 2. Brown and Edwards brings him down as we move inside the 2-minute warning for a 2nd and goal. They will look to pass. Herbert, quick throw, misses the mark, and it's honestly pretty lucky that our guys didn't have their head on a swivel. And honestly, should have been picked. 3rd and goal, Herbert back to the passing game. Finding that drag yet again. The underneath play too good. 2-2 Atwell ties us up. But with a little under 2 minutes left, we'll jump out here with the offense. Try to control our clock management here, as it's going to be a roll. Trying to get this one towards the sideline. Too tall for Bateman. What we've seen from Purdy so far hasn't really been dominant play. He's missed a good amount of passes. As there's 3 to the left-hand side here. Hawkinson the only one to the right. As he finds some space, give him a little bit of some space to run under it. He can't squeeze it. And now with 2 incomplete passes, 3rd and 10. Got to make sure we at least get this clock moving, so that way the Packers don't have all the free time. Taylor on the halfback screen, cuts back in, leaves a 4th and 1. At the 34. Could be risky to go for it here, setting up the Packers with easy field position, but also just looks oh so close, plus they used their own timeout. Sticking in the spread, hard count, no one jumps. Taylor has a little lane and he will pick up that first down. Offense can keep things moving here as we look to get right back to it. Hurry up offense, maybe see a little some play action, might get someone open. Well, we got Bateman. No, not Bateman. It's Tyler Johnson coming in. He made a couple nice grabs last year. Nice to see some rotation. Still over on that left-hand side. Bateman on the right. It's Alan Lazard who's not out there currently. As it's a pass across the middle, it gets picked off by Horn. The pass didn't look like it was that bad, just a great play from the corner. The good news is the Packers don't score off of it, and we get through halftime. In our first possession here of the second half, we are into plus territory. Taylor with the rush, gonna pick up a solid gain of apparently just 5, looked like 6, of which he is averaging per rush in this one. 11 rushes, 66 yards. As 24 checks in at running back here, that is Hold. Didn't see much playing time last year, but was part of the team. He'll go out on a route as Purdy will instead just take it right down the middle, sliding down at the 27. Nice to see we still have a little bit of that scramble ability from our quarterback, Tommy DeVito. Started to incorporate that a little bit last year. Brock Purdy can do the same. As Taylor back in here, will take the carry for a gain of 3. Do have to say, offensive line doing pretty well considering we are missing one of the best young centers in the league here and having to rely on some backups. Purdy, a little bit of some play action. He rolls towards the top and just gets rid of it. With a 3rd and 7. Got to find a first down here. We got 2 down to the bottom plus Hawkinson. 1 up top is Lazard. Purdy, pretty clean pocket. He's got time. Eventually, though, it collapses around the edge. That was Trevor Penning getting the start at right tackle. Giving that one up. We'll have to settle for a field goal then. So McLaughlin out to kick this one at the 41. A 51-yarder gives us the lead. But it would not last long. Darnell Mooney gives it back to the Packers with a 40-yard strike. This game has been a lot of back and forth. As we get the fourth quarter underway here, it's a 4th and inches. Yet again, the offense staying on out as we are down to our rival. Down the middle is a fumble. We recovered. Dan Arnold, right place, right time. Angled in the line, did enough to get that first, but he put it on the ground. We get lucky. 1st and 10 at the 38. Brock Purdy set to throw. Going up top, he finds Allen Lazard. He's had a big game in this one. 2 touchdowns. Also happens to be the only touchdowns we've scored. Need to find at least one here. Give us a 4-point lead in the 4th. Taylor down the middle. Going to get us into plus territory with a nice rush. He's 18 yards away from 100. That rush does put the team at 100 rushing, as we've seen a little bit from some of the other guys. Purdy dumps this one off T-Hawk, picking up a gain of about 7.5. Sits us just inside the 40 for a 2nd and 3 as we bring out 2 tight ends at the bottom. Receiver stack up top. It's Taylor down the middle, picking up that first down, about gain of 4. Actually, no, check that, not Taylor. Got to do better at reading numbers. That is the rookie Alex Church checking in for what is at least his first carry that we've seen, and it is a big one. Keeping those first downs rolling. As we're down to the 36, he stays on out there, does not pick up the blitz. It's a sack fumble. The only players around are for the Packers, and Leonard Williams might find himself scooping and scoring. I really hope there's a booth review and Purdy was down. Otherwise, that could be detrimental to this rivalry matchup. And unfortunately, we would not be saved by the booth. Down 28-17, 5 minutes left here in the 4th. We've got to find our way back into this one as we start with a pass. Finding a quick check down, Quintez Cephas gets the grab, and we're going to be running hurry up from here on out. Not a whole lot of time, got to make sure we use it well. Tyler Johnson out there, he's seeing a little bit more playing time this year. Good to see that rotation happening. As we look for him here on the deep shot, he had the step for a second, great recovery. But Trevor Penning injured on the play. Not good for our offensive line, already putting us in a pretty weak spot. 3rd and 2, need to make sure we get the first down here. It is Hull on the handoff. We'll get it done. We got to try to stay as healthy as possible. 1st and 10 at the 39. Also need to make sure we're getting some nice chunk yardage here, as Purdy will decide to give himself up. He still takes some awkward contact. Ref's not giving any fouls to help us out, keep him clean. 2nd and 1, just outside of plus territory. Looking for a quick check down. It is to Hull. Gets the grab, not able to get away. Taking around 3.5 minutes now. As they cover the outside, Brock Purdy, he's on the move once again, trying to find somewhere to go. Takes the contact, but picks up the first. Trying to make up for his own mistakes, which honestly there have been a good amount of to start his time here with the Minnesota Vikings. Lazard was potentially breaking open. Hit in on Purdy. Gonna negate any possibility at finding it. With a 2nd and 10, 3:18 on the clock. Look for a quick pass here to Dan Arnold, who comes flying in to get the grab, first down. Looked like that was gonna be a missed throw, honestly, potentially even a pick, but a great job there from tight end 2. As Hawkinson not on the field here. Look for the quick dump off. Purdy missed hole. Good news is Penning back out there at right guard. For a 2nd and 10. Pass across the middle. We find T-Hawk just in front of the safety. Once again, back to the hurry up here. We need 2 scores. We're about 2.5 minutes left here. That also means we need a stop from our defense as well. Look for the developing slant. Quintez Cephas finds the touchdown we were looking for. Still, we've got work to do, and that involves a stop from the defense. But before we get there, trying to make this a field goal game here. Currently down by 5. Hard count from Purdy. Not going to get a free play. Bateman on the quick slant. Nearly had it, goes through his hands. Well, it's going to require another touchdown. And the defense provide us that opportunity. I imagine they run. DeAndre Swift with a fullback in front. As they actually go play action, Herbert, he's going to throw downfield, and it's nearly picked off by St. Just. That would have been massive. I think he only had 1 or 2 last year. 2nd and 10. Herbert still looking to throw. He dumps this one off to Swift with some space in front. He slows down, but still picks up the first. Good thing we have the 2-minute warning. This really is timeout territory, so that means get the stopping, get it quick. We don't have time to spare as Swift takes the handoff here. It's a great pull from the guard. Getting a gain of 9. We call our first timeout. 2nd and 1. First down might just seal it. As they pull the guard and the tight end, and it will be a first down for Swift. They've just got a run clock from here. Or actually, we might give ourselves a little bit of time. With a 3rd and 8, we get the stop. We'll have 1 shot on offense, and it might just come down to only 1 shot. Herbert throws. It's a stop from Edwards, and we'll get the ball back with around 20 seconds. Or instead, it's a fake. Packers throw, and they get the first down to seal the game. Well, in a rivalry matchup, that's a great play. Do I hate to see it? Yes, I do. We drop to 1 and 2 to open up this season. We did not do well in our division last year, and it's not starting off in any better way. And the slide would continue into the next game. Doesn't even look like we showed up until the second half, and we won the second half 21-7, but we lost the first half 28-0, and ultimately the game 35-21. Now in this one, we're just not seeing anything good out of Brock Purdy right now. After giving up multiple first-round picks, he completes just 54%, throws yet another pick. Meanwhile, Josh Allen, 3 touchdowns. He only completed 59, so it's not awful there. Taylor still has yet to hit that 100-yard, but he did get 2 rushing touchdowns in this one, of course. We then gave that up to Tony Pollard. Receiving, Bateman in first. They're like to see it. Hawkinson second. That's more of the lineup we need to see. We just need to see better of it. In terms of our defense, Chenal and Hobbs led us in tackles. TFL's Mafe had 2. Did we get any more here for the rookie? No, doesn't look like it. And no sacks in this game. And even to top it off, we missed a field goal. Not that it would have won us the game. So far, can't say the Brock Purdy trade is panning out very well. His completion percentage is under 60%. 6 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, also not very good. Looks like Jimmy G has even passed a little bit. 1 play. We need a little bit more here from our offense, and potentially that might mean another playbook change, because we got to get this thing sorted. We've got too many good guys on offense to be playing as low as we have been. Defense, I understand. We've got a little bit of some lightness on that side. Work in progress, though, and hopefully next time we'll get it right. So with a 1-3 record in Week 5 is where we will leave it off here for today. And honestly, that 1 win barely even happened. So we've got to do some course corrections for sure. Packers are on top of our division, 3-1. Lions 2-2. Bears, as well as ourselves, 1-3. So make sure you stick around as we will be back on Thursday. College Football 25 every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Hit that bear icon on the bottom right or scroll down to the sub button and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. And Brock Purdy, we gave away a lot for him, so he better show up big next time out.